What's going on, everyone? We're going to talk about Bitcoin, why I invest in Bitcoin, and how I use an interest-bearing account to get 6% APY, in which using this account you can also earn up to 8.5% APY. So if we really wanted to talk about Bitcoin, we could talk about all of its nuances and use applications for hours. What's most important to understand is that it's a non-correlated asset and it's a hedge against the existing financial system. I have 2% of my investments in Bitcoin for that reason specifically, because simply with what's going on right now, you cannot print trillions of dollars and expect that there's not going to be some type of hyperinflation to come in the future. Money doesn't grow on trees, it doesn't come for free. Over the long term, hopefully we all know this, but cash is trash. If you had $10,000 in a savings account in the year 2000, all the way until 2020 right now, then it's lost about half of its value, and that's all because of inflation. Now there's more money being printed, there's more stimulus going on than ever, and we've been hearing about overshooting the 2% inflation target. No one knows what's going to happen, but for me it's important to get out of cash in the long term and be into dollar denominated assets rather than to be in cash. Over the last 5 years, if we zoom out, Bitcoin has been the best performing inflation hedge asset, and that's because it's pretty volatile. Now, the way I like to look at volatility is that it's your best friend on the way up and it's your worst enemy on the way down. Now, there are people saying that Bitcoin dropped when the stock market dropped, but the truth is that when the stock market dropped, there was a liquidity crisis. So that means that investors are so uncertain about the future that everyone wants to get out of their assets, regardless of what it is: stocks, real estate, Bitcoin, gold, etc. And they want to have a certain amount of cash. So you're going to see a sell-off in all types of assets. So that's what happened with Bitcoin, and it actually dipped to around 4,500. So if you would have bought in at that time, you would have more than doubled up by now. So the main reason that I'm in Bitcoin is for the capital appreciation. Like I said, it's a hedge against the current financial system. You cannot print more Bitcoin. There's only a certain amount, and there's a certain amount that's being mined. But the dollar is fictionary. It's a fiat currency. It can be printed and manipulated. So in my eyes, there's a potential for Bitcoin to at least 10x in the next 5 years. Obviously, it could go to zero. So this is a very risky investment. I think about it like it's either going to be a zero or a hero. But that's also why it's only 2% of my portfolio. I don't have a whole Bitcoin yet. I'm working my way towards a whole Bitcoin. But as I'm doing that, I'm increasing my other investments just to keep it at 2%. So I've always been actually thinking about Bitcoin, but I never made a move on it until I discovered BlockFi. And I actually used them because you can earn up to 8.5% APY. We know that right now savings accounts are pretty much destroyed. They've been destroyed by the Fed as they lowered interest rates. Majority of banks are paying close to 0.34%. You'll be lucky if you can get into a high interest savings account like me. I do have one of those, and that's where I keep cash until I'm ready to deploy it into an asset. There's plenty of them out there. You can just do your Google searches, or I can do a separate video talking about that. But anyway, 8.5% in this environment sounds very enticing. So when you think about Bitcoin, when you're investing like this, there's two important things. One, you're thinking about the asset price appreciation. That's the most important piece. And two, while you're waiting, you have a company like BlockFi that's paying you anywhere from 6 to 8.6% actually. I think I've been saying 8.5% APY. So how is BlockFi able to pay you such high interest rates? Well, have you ever heard of fractional reserve banking? That's basically what the banks do. Let's say you have $1 in your account. They can take that same dollar and lend it out up to 10 times. And they're making money on your money. So just think of BlockFi as people who are doing this in the crypto space. because it's not just Bitcoin that you can invest with. You can invest with Ethereum. There's plenty of other cryptocurrencies that they support. Now, there are risks involved. You're subject to whatever happens to Bitcoin in the future, of course. They are not FDIC insured. So like when you put your money in a normal bank account, usually you're FDIC insured up to $250,000. Over here, there's no insurance. You could lose all your money. Once again, 2% of my portfolio. But it's not like BlockFi is completely uncredible. You know, they're backed by huge finance companies like SoFi and Fidelity, and that's just a couple names on that list. Not only that, but they keep their Bitcoin in Gemini. Gemini is very secure and reputable in the crypto space. So when I was buying Bitcoin, I was buying in the $9,000 levels, and I was just pretty much loading up. I don't plan on ever like selling my Bitcoin unless like something dramatically changes in my life. This is something that I just plan on holding on to. And like I said, when you're doing it like that, you're getting that kind of like insurance piece, and it's a hedge against the current financial system. If you're someone who's trading Bitcoin, then you might end up missing out on that type of protection for small profits, in my opinion. So with BlockFi, they actually pay out monthly. I get paid out on the first of every month just for having whatever I'm holding in that account. They pay you out based on the principal. Right now, my interest rate is 6%. You can earn up to 8.6%, like I said. The only product I use from them is the interest-bearing account. They also have a loan where you can get a loan that's backed up by your crypto. Just recently, they created their trading platform. You can actually trade cryptocurrencies with BlockFi as well. So let's recap to why I'm in Bitcoin. There's potential for this asset to dramatically outperform all the other assets in the next 5 years, I think so. And there's potential for it to 10 to 100x. It could also hit 0. No one knows what's going to happen. Obviously, Bitcoin is a super speculative investment. I would never have Bitcoin as my only investment, as a huge part of my portfolio. So you have that asset price appreciation piece. And then when you're in something like BlockFi, obviously you don't hold the keys to your crypto. I don't bother messing around with all that. I know that my money's with Gemini, so I'm cool with that. And I'm collecting interest at the same time while I wait, currently 6%. So it was just a no-brainer for me just because of those two things. When you put them together, I think the risk-reward trade-off is pretty nice in my opinion. In the crypto space, I only like Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm not really a fan of all the other cryptos, and I don't dabble in crypto too much, to be honest. I only hold Bitcoin for now though. So that was it for this video. That's why I'm invested in Bitcoin, and that's how I end up getting a 6% return on my Bitcoin, which is beating the banks. And I do expect my Bitcoin to way outperform the S&P 500. So we're gonna see where that is in 5 years. Obviously, I'll keep you updated. Ask me questions, whatever you want. Stay tuned if you want to see more. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and leave me a comment down below.